Hey, when I was going in this video, I'll make sure to carve your own Sinister P pumpkin from Roblox, which if you don't know what Sinister P is, it's one of the most iconic Roblox Halloween items. Sinister P, the description of that says, in Robloxia, Sinister P carves you, which you can't lie, it's a really awesome description, and it was the first and original Sinister pumpkin of the Sinister Pumpkin series. And so I got a pumpkin that looks pretty similar to the Sinister pumpkin, the Sinister P, which I think looks like a pretty good one, but there is a bit of rotting on it. So the weather around where I live, it started getting really cold, and then it started warming up really fast. So it went from being in the 50s, 60s outside to being 70s and almost 80s. So it really did mess with, the pumpkins and everything at the pumpkin patch. I think it was a really good pumpkin, but like I said, it was a little weird, and it's because of the temperatures of how they've been outside recently. This bipolar weather. But I started carving from the bottom because I didn't really want to mess with the top too much because it was starting to get a little rotten from the top. So the pumpkin was a bit rotten, but a lot of it was still pretty good. So I just started to make a hole from the bottom and decided to do it differently. I never really did it from the bottom before in general, but so yeah, just carving the hole out right here, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and take this big piece out for now and get it out of the way so we can start gutting out the pumpkin, scooping all the insides out, because obviously we won't need that for this. And I didn't make the hole big enough to fit my head into it, which I probably should have done that. Thinking back on it now, that would have been even cooler because you can wear the Sinister P on Roblox. And so anyways, go ahead and just gut out your pumpkin here and get rid of all the guts. I'm using a scooper, which I just scrape it really good, and you can actually gut your pumpkin really fast. This is the fastest I ever actually gutted out a pumpkin before and got all the guts and seeds and all that stuff out of there, which actually didn't take much time for some reason. But I was doing outside, which I normally don't typically carve pumpkins and stuff outside, but I recommend doing outside. It's much easier, but there is bugs out there. But then you can just throw your guts right into the woods and you don't have to make a mess inside your house or on the table wherever you're carving your pumpkin this Halloween. But as you can see, I'm quickly going in there. This is a time lapse, by the way. I'm not actually going that fast. That'd be crazy if I did, because I should probably compete in the Guinness World Records if that was the case. But as you can see, there's a lot of good stuff in there. I can make a couple, pumpkin pies probably with the amount of guts I had from this pumpkin. Pretty big pumpkin, but it didn't take long. My hand was really sticky after this. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It took a lot of time to just do this pumpkin. I never spent so much time trying to make sure I got it correctly. I spent about 2 hours carving this pumpkin and making sure I got the face on there correctly. Make sure to smash the like button if you haven't yet, because it took me a long time to make this, and I hope this kind of helped you guys reference your own pumpkins for Halloween. Maybe do Sinister P, which is a really cool option, by the way. I highly recommend trying to get a pumpkin that looks really similar to the shape of the Sinister P. That way it really is accurate. I know some people have done a Sinister P because I was searching it up. I was trying to get some research and see some examples of people doing Sinister P pumpkin, but I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but they kind of had the wrong pumpkins. Like, they weren't the right size compared to the real Sinister P, which they did a good job in the face, but even with the correct size, like more accurate you are, this is the better it looks, and it looks so real. And I was just scooping off the bottom piece I had, and I couldn't put the bottom piece back on. I kind of messed up the hole, so I didn't want it really stay in place, so I kind of messed up on that part, but I'm just going to keep it off the pumpkin for now. Now, on this part, we're just kind of, trying to put the stem back together because it was kind of rotting on the top, like I said earlier, and on one of the sides. Now, I did spend some time trying to trace the face onto there, which I kind of messed up a little bit on, but I recovered it and everything, and it turned out really great, so trust the process, okay? And anyways, I just did it this way. We spent a ton of time, me and my girlfriend spent a lot of time trying to trace the Sinister P face that was big enough for my pumpkin, and we put it on a piece of newspaper. I'll show some pictures on the screen. That took quite some time. We had to get it so right. I'm like, if it's slightly off with the eye, I was like, no, I don't like it. We had to make a lot of revisions. We spent a lot of time on that part alone. And at this point, you might notice I'm going a little too fast, possibly. I mean, it's a time lapse, but you might notice I'm going too fast because I start to get impatient a lot. That's probably one of my bad things, that I can get pretty impatient, even though I might be taking my time at first, but then I just want to be done. I realized how much time I already spent outside carving this pumpkin, and the flies are starting to get on it, and I just want to be done. But I did make sure it still looked really good. By the way, since you've seen the beginning of this video, you kind of have a little peek of what it is going to turn out for the final results. Just trust the process. Obviously, like I said, just draw the face and try to get accurate on a big piece of paper, then try to tape that piece of paper up to the pumpkin, okay, and try to match. If you try to have a stem, I don't know if some people might not have a stem on their pumpkin, which is okay, but if you do try to make it so the stem and coming down, the outlines of the pumpkin, the ridges, all that stuff, try to make the middle of the face wherever the stem is, so going down, the middle of that is the middle of the face, if you know what I mean there, okay? As you can see, I started carving out and actually getting out the eyes, which actually took a couple minutes. So yeah, I'm doing another one as well, which I had to go around multiple times trying to make sure it's really loose, because I didn't want to accidentally make any punctures in the pumpkin where it's not supposed to be. Then I got that eye out as well, and then I started doing the mouth, which took the longest, obviously, because it's the biggest piece. And you can see the did little teeth, which I think were pretty good. And you're really going to start seeing this come together. Like I said, trust the process. It does take a lot of time at first, but this is, one of the fun parts where he's just trying to get to carve out the pieces that need to get out of the pumpkin, like the mouth and eye pieces. Now I do this weird thing where I was trying to stick multiple knife tools into the thing to try to pull them out, but that's kind of a dumb idea. Then I used one of the scooper things to try to beat in the piece. You probably shouldn't do that way, but then I started wedging it, trying to get it off where it was, but then that kind of helped too. Just try to use your tools and try to be careful though. Be more careful than what I was. I was impatient. That's why I'm like trying to beat it and not really think about it, because I could have really messed this up really bad if I wasn't careful. I could have accidentally like punched in a piece and would have ruined the whole thing. So try to be more slow than I am. Just try to cut out a little bit more. And like I said, the mouthpiece was kind of annoying. It took quite a while to get out, but then there we go. And then I'm going to cut out these extra pieces that didn't come off like they were supposed to. And it really is coming together now. I just got to clean up the Sinister P pumpkin at this point, and we're almost done here. But like I said, it could be quicker for you if you can print a piece of paper. Like you can try to draw it on your computer or something, or you can try to get a good picture screenshot of the Sinister P pumpkin from a front face view, then print that picture out and make the picture big enough to face on your pumpkin. So like I said, printing out is a pretty good way to do it, but you got to make sure that they're pretty even, which is kind of hard to do with the screenshot, but you get the idea. You can print it or you can reference it and just try to draw on your own, and then put the paper on there, tape it up, and then try to trace it onto the pumpkin, and you can get it pretty accurate, honestly. Now the scooping part took quite a bit of time, probably took like 10 minutes I think, and just cleaning it up. It's kind of like shaving the insides, trying to get it looking really nice and pretty clean. Also, make sure to join the Roblox fan group, by the way. There'll be a link to that in the description below. We're going to be at 1,000 members soon, so make sure to join. It means a lot and supports me. But look at that, looks pretty finished, and we're going to go ahead and go inside, and I'll show you guys later. And here it is later in the day. I've just got a couple shots. This one's in the dark inside the house, which looks really cool, by the way. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you how it looks from outside the house late at night. I did kind of mess up on one side where it was a little too thin, but I think it turned out perfectly. Make sure to comment below what you think about this. If you're going to be carving Sinister Pumpkin, or what you did for this Halloween for your pumpkin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. I'll see you guys later. Happy Halloween.